It's about that time, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Run it with your friends, come on.
Come on.
It's a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is tight. Sinclair is on the mic.
Once again, it's on. You're still troubled in your home. Got you tripping, don't know right from wrong. Send your letters to the show so we can talk you through. Get the answers to your questions because we speak that truth. Sometimes you doubt yourself, lost your health. Faith is on the fence, but you believe that Jesus knows your wealth. Keep it moving, spirit flowing, because we're here to provide someone to lean on when you're falling. Wednesday, 8 and 9, and it's on.
Once again, it's on. You're listening to the only morning show at night, people. It's the Sinclair Show in partnership with WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9, and Greenville Pit Access Television TV 23. The Sinclair Show is sponsored by Carver Cigars. What's your Carver moment? And the Interdenominational Spiritual Training, where increasing your knowledge and relationship with God goes hand in hand. You can catch the Sinclair Show on Sinclair TV, GPAT TV 23. Check your local listings for times and dates. You can also watch on Facebook at The Sinclair Show.
What is going on, my people? I'm glad to see you all are joining in tonight. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And as always, I am thrilled to be here with you all. That's right. Let me talk about, you know what? I forgot to mention one of our other sponsors, that is Divine Leaf, pushing the culture forward, one divine leaf at a time. Join the movement. Outstanding. All right, so let me see. What are we going to talk about first? Let me get this out my way. All right, so I guess first thing I better do is go up here. Since so many people done jumped on, let me see who up here. Oh, Nikki Carter was on first tonight. Pamela German, what's going on? Glad to see you. Nikki Carter. Y'all look at this right here. Nikki talking about she gonna be on her best behavior because she almost got banned from the show. Let me see who else is up here. Gwendolyn Lady Elegance Pritchett from Redstone Arsenal, Alabama, joining us as always. Glad to see you. Dr. Beverly Key, of course, it's wonderful to see you. And look here, people. Aloha. Kiki Matthews jumping in from Hawaii. Yeah, she's having my good evening, everybody. Whatever. Taya Matthews, what's going on, girl? I see Annie Morris joining us. Of course, it's wonderful for you to be here as well. And as people keep, where's my mama at? I ain't seen my mama. Somebody call my mama and find out where my mama is. Mama tripping. She late. We don't play that mama be late thing. But anyway, while we're waiting for a couple of more people to join on, let me tell y'all something. This is just a little side note. I'm not even going to take a whole bunch of time up saying it tonight, but hey, look here, people. COVID is COVID is unleashing. I've seen and heard of more people getting COVID now than before we went on lockdown. That's real talk. So just as a message to you all, so y'all still keep that in mind, make sure that you staying masked up when you out here in these streets, if you will, because COVID is not playing with y'all at any shape, form, or fashion. All right. Just letting y'all know that. Stephanie Tillman, glad to see you on the show tonight. Let me see who else. There's my mama. Hey, mama. Mama almost had to send them folks looking for you because you wasn't in on the show. Don't be making me have to wonder. You know, I go look at the cameras and see if your car outside. Ty, you late. Mama already up here. Always late for the party. Anyway, so as I was saying to you all, COVID is out there. COVID ain't playing. People getting COVID every single day, still checking out. Only difference between now and before, people ain't talking about it as much because y'all too busy talking about. Hold on. Y'all ever notice somebody always trying to get some credit? So what you called it? My mama was coming on the show anyway. She ain't need your phone call. But if you need a pat on the back, everybody out there in radio and TV land, get Taya Matthews a pat on the back because she called my mama and got my mama to get on the show. quote, air quotes for real, people, just air quotes. Anyway, so yeah, ain't only difference in COVID now is they ain't talking about it as much because y'all too busy out there talking about that $9 and $10 gas that they got out there in Cali. Okay. Pamela said, be nice. I be trying to be nice. I promise you I be trying to be nice. But you know how folks is. Come on now. Especially folks from Jackson. Anyway, so yeah. Gas prices as high as I don't know what, people. I'm talking about, I was watching, I peruse through the information so I can update you all. All y'all out there talking about that. Hold on. Thank you. Bows in receipt of applause. Ain't nobody giving you no applause. Nikki Carter, you on your way off this show. You are on your keep on. Anyway, all y'all out there talking about California love, whatever. I bet y'all out there in California wish you could get to the East Coast right about now, because them gas prices y'all got. Oh, and let me tell you all, you Democrats, I told y'all I'm an independent. Let me tell y'all Democrats something. If y'all was paying attention to the polls yesterday, y'all in trouble. Okay? Not that we care about what the Republicans is thinking, because we don't trust them neither. Independent is the way to go. That's real talk right there. There go my big dog, Rod Jake, is on with us this evening. See, I feel a little bit better already. See, because some of the men, I don't know what's wrong with men. Men always coming on late. We're gonna have to protest. But anyway, yeah, people on the real. That gas prices out there in California, all y'all be trying to get to the East Coast now. I seen gas in California, the average is $7 and goes up to $9. Look at y'all out there talking about y'all getting them e-bikes. Look, Tesla gonna put y'all, he gonna put y'all in one of them Tesla vehicles before it's all over with, ain't it? Somebody asked me today, talking about, do you think Elon Musk got something to do with the gas price? I'm like, man, y'all leave Elon alone. Y'all done already tried to take Twitter back from him. Y'all are not right, people. Y'all always got some attitudes. And that's another question. Why do my people always got attitude problems? Oh, I'm talking about my Negro people. I ain't talking about my Caucasian side. I'm talking about my Negro people. I rocks with y'all about 90% of the time. Sometimes y'all get on my nerves and I had to go on to my other side. I'm just saying. But anyway, so I thought we'd talk about the gas prices. They went up a little bit. And I'm going to tell y'all, too, how fast they be going up. So I go to work fairly early in the morning by most people's standards, meaning I'm one of them people that when I go to work, it's dark outside. Okay. For those of you who sleep late, whatever. And so have you ever gone to work and the gas price was one price, and by the time you come home, it's 30 cents higher? And you're wondering to yourself, what exactly happened when I was trapped working for the man that caused gas prices to go up by 30 cents? It's like people out there in gas land is playing spades and the loser get to take the gas prices up. I'm just saying, it's a little bit abnormal for me to, hey, where my hat at? Matter of fact, I'm doing on a show with no hat on. Excuse me, people. Let me get back to the regular me. Yeah, I feel a little bit better now. Yeah, that right there. See, sometimes y'all, you know how you feel like, oh man, I done left my super cape at home. Y'all know I always try to wear some hats. Although some of y'all be talking about, oh, I wonder if he got hair. Yeah, I got hair. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all tripping. Anyway, so past the gas prices and all that stuff, I'm trying to figure out what is going on with gas prices, because if we got to go through these gas prices, we may as well just go on, put the helicopters and the planes over there in Ukraine, go and help fight back Putin, send him back to his little house, and come on back here and drop them prices down some, if that's what this is about. Because if the price is going to go up anyway, we may as well go and get up into action all the way. I ain't talking about the underground movement that we be doing, the we ain't there, but we really there type thing. Anyway, wonder where Jay Dizzle is tonight. I don't see none of them people up here. Let me reach out to some of my people. Anyway, all right, we about to get into some real things. Let's go and see what's up on the banners for conversation tonight. First thing popping off tonight is Monique and DL Hughley. Who is this? April Brown is back on the call again. What's going on? Glad to see you. None of your boys showed up. Yeah, they some sellouts. It's not unusual in the Negro community. We don't stick together. Anyway, so Monique is back making news again. Her and DL Hughley are still tussling. Some week or so past when they had the little on stage thing. And somebody sent me a question that said Monique and her husband, Sidney Hicks, have included all manner of attacks, such as disrespecting his being DL Hughley's marriage, calling him a coward, and reposting a video in which Hughley details his mistakes as a father regarding how he handled his youngest daughter's sexual trauma. All right. Detective Pamela Black, glad to see you. All right. So somebody wanted to know if I believe that Monique was wrong for allegedly going after DL Hughley's, I guess is his daughter, whatever. So what say you all, the public? Do y'all think Monique has gone too far in whatever she may have said or didn't say or whatever about DL's family or didn't say about his family? I don't know. Did she? Matter of fact, let's start with the beginning. For me to properly answer this, did Monique say anything negative about DL Hughley's family? Yes or no? Does anybody know? Or do we need to? Oh, we ain't even got the legal beagle out here. Let me see. Nikki Carter said, yes, too far. Well, if Nikki Carter said it's too far, it's probably not, because she's going to go against the grain anyway. Anybody else other than Nikki believe that Monique went too far? Let me see. April Brown, she said, yeah. I don't know. She probably in the same boat with Nikki Carter, probably go against the grain. Okay, so somebody tell me. So man, do y'all hear that in my? I got these. Do y'all hear it sound like a frog outside, and he loud like he trying to come in. Annie Moore says she never should have brought his daughter into their mess. All right, there's my dude Jay Dizzle. What's up, Johnny? Man, hey, look, man. People said you sold me down the river, dude. They said you was late intentionally. Matter of fact, I think Nikki Carter said something real slick out the mouth about y'all, talking about none of y'all showed up. But it's all right. I said you didn't either. I did say y'all sold me down the river. Anyway, so somebody tell me what in the, do y'all hear that frog? Somebody tell me what did Monique actually say? Okay. Jay Dizzle, he dropped this knowledge on y'all. He said, hey, look here, I'm late, but I'm on time, right on time for the combo. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So does anybody know what she said? Or are y'all just going off what somebody else said that somebody else said? Did anybody hear what she said? All right. Big Dog Rod said, remember last week I said she went too far when she talked about it on stage. Plus, she's still talking about it. Keep the issue between them and leave the family out of it. All right, Big Dog, listen. Now, I'm inclined to partially believe it because Rod said it. The other two, I don't know. But I'm not chauvinistic now. But somebody tell me, what did she actually say? Does anybody know? Because it sounds to me like right now, I got a bunch of people saying that she went too far. Nikki Carter said his daughter had nothing to do with it. Okay, we done already established that his kids and family don't have anything to do with their beef. Somebody tell me so I can give an answer to my constituents who asked the question, somebody tell me, what did Monique actually say? Anybody? Or do I need to get on my own phone and look up my own information? It sounds like to me that y'all out here on some tomfoolery. Okay. Let me see if I can figure something out here for myself. All right. Nobody knows what she said. I'm disappointed. Well, it appears that what she did was okay, here goes somebody with some alleged facts. Big Rod says she stated that he didn't protect his daughter from rape. See, Big Rod comes with facts. That y'all see, ladies, y'all always wonder why it seems like I gravitate to my brothers, because brothers come with facts. Now, Big Rod said that she stated that he didn't protect his daughter from rape. So let's begin with that point. And if y'all know, y'all can answer. And if you don't know, you can say, Uncle Cindy saying we don't know. First of all, how did Monique get that information? If anybody knows, how did Monique know that something inappropriate had happened with D.L. Hughley's daughter? Let's begin there. Because, ladies, I will side with you if she went digging in his past and okay, hold on. April says she made comments in regards to his wife performing oral sex on a coward. She questioned what type of man he is not to believe his daughter in reference to being sexually abused by his friend. Okay, all right. Nikki Carter says because DL mentioned it. Well. Now Uncle Cindy Sin got now we got more intel. So now I believe, as a disclaimer, that we can all agree that D.L. Hughley's daughter and her business should not be out here in the public. Here's the problem. If what you all are saying is that Monique at some point said that this guy's a coward, but also said that what type of man is he if he didn't believe his daughter when his daughter told him that something inappropriate had happened to her at some point in her life, and he's the one that put the information out to the public, I don't find that to be Monique talking about his daughter as much as it is her talking about the character of a person. Johnny said the only way that could have happened is if they had a personal relationship or if he made those facts known to the public. Jay Dizzle, you absolutely right. Nikki says, Sinclair, if she repeated information he shared and then used the information as a weapon, Monique's still wrong. Hold on. We taking piece by piece. April says she reposted the comments he made years ago when he admitted to his shortcomings as a father in reference to his daughter. Okay, people, walk with me here for a second. If I personally, me, or you, or anybody else, if we choose to go on social media or to the public and we choose to put out our own business, our family's business, or anybody else's business, and if at the point when he did it, he was talking about his own shortcomings as a father, and he did it publicly, Monique is not under any, there's no restraints when she's thinking about how less of a man she believes him to be. She's using some facts that he put out there. She's not talking negative about his daughter. She's asking, according to you all, what type of man are you that when your child comes to you and says that they have been inappropriately touched or anything else by somebody else, you didn't believe them, you didn't take their side. Monique wouldn't have that information if DL himself didn't put it to the public. What say you all on that? Nikki Carr, you keep saying Monique wrong. Maybe she is, but you haven't told me what she's wrong about. She didn't publicize the information about his daughter. You just told me DL did. You said, what is the point of her bringing this up? She brought it up because I'm assuming she was in the midst of defining D.L. Hughley and his character or conduct as being less than what an ideal man is. Okay. See, Annie Moore, just like me, she said it's fair game for anyone to talk about. Absolutely. Big Rod said, but she's still forcing his daughter to relive the incident. No. Rod, and you know I rocks with you, but I can't give you that. She's not forcing the daughter to do anything. The moment DL put it out there to the public, his daughter should have known, and he certainly knew that the public is unforgiving in terms of if you do something and you try to paint yourself in this particular light, and somebody else has information that you gave the public that indicates you're not what you try to pretend to be, then come on now. Now, I'm sure I've hold on. Let me see what Ty said. Ty said, I kind of agree with you, Sinclair. We're not talking about a private conversation that she and DL had as friends. We're talking about information DL himself put out to the public sector. Absolutely, Ty. And there lies the problem. You all want to vilify Monique for not talking about his daughter. She said, what type of man are you to say that when your daughter came to you and told you she had been to some degree assaulted or molested or whatever she happened to have had happen to her, you didn't believe her and you gave that to the public? Each one of you ladies on this show tonight, you have heard of some dude doing something and you have questioned what type of individual was he. Whether it was you've heard somebody, some pastor or preacher cheating, or you done heard one of these entertainers got into some trouble. When it makes it to the public, you form an opinion about it. Okay? Abel says she should have enough of a personal moral compass not to bring up the negative shortcomings and family pain. No, she shouldn't. April, why do you believe this? She did not reveal it to the public. DL did. He knows he's a public figure. Walks around bragging about it all the time. Oh, I was on the Kings of Comedy. I got my own show, this, and that. And I'm not knocking DL for his accomplishments as a professional, but he's not ignorant enough to think that I can't put this out to the public and somebody ain't gonna use it against me. Some of you all need to get up off your high horses, because the very same thing that you are accusing Monique of, many of you do every day, right here on Facebook, right on social media. You read something, you start posting your opinions about it. Matter of fact, that's how we got here tonight. Somebody wanted to talk about Monique. And since we saying that, and I'm to be fair with you, I don't care about Monique or DL. But let me ask you this. All right, so Johnny says, now the question is this: if he has become more in tune with his daughter and that his personal character traits have shifted to be more protective, how can you say he's still a weak person? He's still a weak person as she's leading the public to believe. Johnny, to be honest with you, I don't know whether or not DL's character has shifted or not. I don't know anything about him personally. The only point that I am referencing here tonight is people say Monique went too far into talking about something that DL Hughley gave to the public. You all inferred that she had said something negative about his daughter, which she did not, according to you, the public. You all said her only comment in relation to his daughter was, what type of man would not believe his daughter when his daughter came to him and said, somebody inappropriately did something to me? Many of you know somebody either directly or indirectly that you have made the same comments when you found out something happened to them. So why is Monique any different than you all? Because I didn't see anybody writing me, was DL wrong for talking about Monique's husband? Let me ask that question. Because I haven't heard any of you all run into Monique's defense. DL has said a lot of shady, slick, underhanded things about Monique's husband. So is that fair game? Are y'all saying that it's wrong to talk about people's families, regardless to whether it's Monique and DL, and y'all feel the exact same way about DL that you do about Monique? Come on, public. Please don't get quiet now. I'm asking real conversation, real questions. Is DL Hughley wrong for saying anything negative about Monique's husband? Big Rod said, yes, it's fair game as well. That's what I want to hear right there. So if you talk about Monique went too far, you clearly have to say that DL Hughley has gone too far. And so if that's the case, why are we even talking about it? Why does it even matter to us? Hold on. Nigga said, what and when did he say that about her husband? Nikki, if you were spending just a little bit more time fact checking than you are trying to go against the grain, you'll go out there and find it for yourself. Let me see what April said. Family should be off limits if not directly involved. Hold on, April. What do you mean by if not directly involved? Because it seems like you're giving a prerequisite or a pass. Jay Dizzle said, I see your point. However, that is an apples and oranges comparison in reference to a contract dispute. Yeah, Johnny, but the point is, what the public has asked me is if I thought Monique was wrong for what she said. As to what the public now has provided me that she actually said, I don't think she was wrong because it was inferred that she said something negative about his daughter, which she did not. She said he was less than a man for not protecting his daughter, which we now know DL put out to the public. When you're talking about hold on. Nikki says, so was it recent? Here we go again. If I say something about your mama tonight and you don't see me for X period of time, it's going to still be a problem when you see me. Okay. Ty said, if they think that Monique was wrong, then they have to also agree that DL was wrong. You would think so. But see, that's the problem with us in our society. That's none of her business. What's none of her business? Was it any of DL's business what Monique chooses to do and what she chooses to call her husband? That ain't none of his business. But you don't have a problem with that. Let me see. April said, if her husband inputs himself in the situation, he opens himself up. If not, he should be off limits. Okay, so let me get this straight. So she's holding a grudge. You know what? What Annie Moore said, if you listen to his radio show, he does talk about people. You know what? Annie Moore done brought up a good point. DL Hughley spends a significant portion of his radio show talking about people, their lives, what they choose to do. This is what he does on his radio show. Y'all ain't got no problem with that. See, that's why we as Negroes, let me see what my Big Rod said. I'm surprised that they're still talking about it. And since DL has a talk show, it only leads me to believe that he's talking about it to keep it going to increase ratings. Big Rod, you hit the nail on the head. I wish everybody thought like you, Big Rod. Here's the problem, people. The methodology that you all are using to hold on to this issue with Monique, but you will give DL a pass. That is the reason why in white America, we don't have credibility because we appear to have jaded views. Why? Because if I have a problem with somebody talking about somebody's family, I should have a problem with it regardless to who's doing it. It shouldn't be, I got a problem if you do it, but if somebody I'm cool with do it, then I'm gonna give them a slight pass. I'm gonna make up an excuse as to what, when, how. No, that's not how it works. And that's why we don't have credibility sometimes, because we don't stand on what we believe in. What we believe in changes based on the emotions of who it's associated with. And y'all wrong for that. I'm just keeping it a stack with y'all. Okay. If I don't like mass murderers, I can't say, well, if the dude that shot everybody was black, then I'm okay with him shooting everybody. No, if I got a problem with mass murderers, I got a problem with all mass murderers. It's just that simple. But when you switch back and forth based on gender, based on the emotion of whether you like somebody or not, then you have no credibility on that particular issue. Big Ross said talking about people was a part of his stand-up for years. I never saw him as a king of in the comedy game. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, Big Rod. And I'm not jumping on DL. I'm just saying DL doesn't have a right to then turn around and act like a victim because Monique done put 2 feet up in his behind because of something that either was the promoter's fault or something was said behind the scenes. Because if you listen to what Monique said, Monique characterized many different incidents where something was said about her, her family, the way she do business by DL, and he ain't had no firsthand knowledge. And she said rather than say something about it at a time when he wasn't around, she chose to put foot in him when he was right there. To me, there goes Chanel Rawls. What's going on? Raleigh Rawls. So what Monique did, Monique handled her business like y'all say in the streets. She handled her business like a G. She didn't wait and talk behind DL Hughley's back. She talked about him when he was 7 feet away from her behind the curtain. He didn't have to guess where it was coming from. She claims, and I've gone back from time to time and looked up some of the videos, he has talked about her. If she called her husband daddy, that's her business. Some of y'all hating because you ain't strong enough to call your man daddy if that's what he want. Some of y'all will call him daddy behind the scenes, but you ain't gonna say it in public. And many of you had a problem with it because you felt like, she's lowering herself. Get up out of here with that mess. That's her business and what she do with her man. Matter of fact, half the people complain about her calling her man daddy ain't got a man to call daddy. But it was fine when people was talking about that. What's going on, Cassandra? Glad you done jumped in. I needed a legal beagle for a minute. They tried to put the heat on me. So understand something, people. When you get in folks' business, you don't then get to run and defend DL talking about, oh, Monique is wrong. Monique came back on DL hard and in the paint, and she herself said, I could have responded to him all these years. He been talking about me and my husband, but I didn't. I knew when I got to Detroit that if something went wrong, I was going to check this situation with him right there. She didn't throw rocks and hide her hands. She didn't do it from a show somewhere and talk back about him. What did she do? She said it with that dude 7 steps away. That's how you do it. If you going to get back at somebody, if you going to check somebody, the problem with DL was this. When he walked out there on that stage, them same fans had Monique's back. That's what he was mad about, because it's real hard to do a show when somebody done chumped you off. That's unheard of. I ain't never watched a comedy skit where the person came on before you chumped you off while you standing in the back. That's what I'm talking about. That's a real G for you. Now, I don't like everything that she does, but let me say this so we can move on to something else. Anymore said one thing about her, she won't back down. Strong woman. Look here, and I'm not defending everything, but let me say this, and then I promise you I'm gonna move on. The reason why I'm standing firm with Monique on this is this one reason. Monique told y'all that Oprah was out there acting like a coon at some point and behind the scenes talking slick, and none of us believed her. She said Tyler Perry played her to the left and was acting like a coon, and none of us believed her. She said that other director, Lee Daniels, was acting like a coon, undercutting her, all that, and we didn't believe her. And what happened? Years later, we find 2 things to be true that Monique said. We found that there's an audio recording of a telephone conversation between her and Tyler Perry where he did apologize for doing the very same thing that Monique said he did. What did Lee Daniel do less than 2 months ago? He walked out on a stage and he admitted publicly that he did exactly what Monique said. So all of you all who were riding and talking trash about Monique and saying she deserved to be blackballed and saying she was lying about Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels and any of the other ones, if 2 out of the 3 people out their own mouths say that they did exactly what she say, the only person ain't went to confession is Oprah. And we know, come on now, Oprah ain't really about y'all, no way. Come on, let's keep it a stack tonight. And I'm not anti-Oprah. But if I go against somebody and I later find out that that person was telling 100% truth, Esther Shepherd, what's going on? Glad to see you. Cassandra says she team Monique too. For all of y'all that won't have her, won't stand with her right now, even though she showed you a contract that says she was supposed to be the headliner. Even though the promoter was the one that did it wrong, she says that backstage, DL was back there wilding out and talking negative about her and demeaning her about what he wasn't going to do because she wasn't this and she wasn't that. If I didn't trust her before with Lee Daniels, if I didn't trust her with Tyler Perry, and both of those two admitted that she was not lying, even though Tyler Perry didn't want to do his publicly, she got him on audio apologizing. Lee Daniel, I give him credit because he walked on a stage where he knew that they were going to be filming him, and he apologized. He said he had did what she accused him of and that he had wronged her. Y'all ought to get up off your bandwagons. Okay? I ain't mad at Monique for standing her ground. When you right, you supposed to. And you ain't got to let somebody talk crazy to you and about you. You ain't got to let somebody talk reckless about your husband. You ain't got to let somebody question why you call your man daddy in your relationship in your house. That's your business. Matter of fact, I dare to say, if a few of y'all out there was a little bit more bold and acted and treated, you want your man to be a certain kind of way, but you out here in these streets talking reckless, but you want to get home and be like, hey, boo. No, Monique ride with her man 100%. And let's be clear. People talking about, oh, he messing up her business. He ain't messing up her business. He's supposed to check the contracts. You know how many entertainers out here have said, you know what? My agent was robbing me. They done said their accountant was robbing them. Y'all mad because a black woman got a black man who's managing her. And when he reads the contract and something ain't right, he said no. When Monique said, I'm not going out here and doing a whole bunch of promos because I'm not getting paid for it and it's not a requirement in my contract, y'all said her husband was causing her to be blackballed. No, it wasn't her husband. It was these people that lied on her and talked reckless that came back and apologized. So that we could go on to the next thing, I want you to think about that. How easy it is for you to go against somebody, not because you got some facts that change the truth, but because it's in the wind. I ain't messing with y'all. I ain't messing with y'all. Outstanding. Let's go to the next thing because y'all done got on my nerves. All right, what's the next? It says, Dear Sinclair, I need your perspective on an issue between me and my twin sister. Twin sister problems. Says she not only is my twin, she was my bestie, I thought. She said I hadn't heard from her in 2 weeks. So I called my mom only to learn she was on a cruise. All right. One of the besties went on a cruise. Apparently she went with this guy I don't care for, but that's irrelevant. Okay. She didn't tell me anything. So when she got back, she called me and I cussed her out. Wow. She acts like I'm wrong. Sinclair, if we share everything and are besties, wouldn't you be mad too? Sheila. Wow. That's tricky. All right, people. So we got some twin sisters who at least one of them thought that they were besties. And one of the twins decided, hey, I'm going on a cruise with this dude that I'm kicking it with. And her twin sister says she didn't like the dude anyway. And Chanel said, OMG, get over yourself. Nigga said kind of exaggerated response. Whatever. I don't even know what the Nikki Carter. She gonna get banned. I promise y'all. She gonna get her. She needs some. Y'all ever seen somebody need some time out? That's gonna be Nikki. But anyway, now, so you ask me my professional opinion. Let me say this to you. If you're asking me if you're wrong, then the answer, quite simply, is yes, you're wrong. And here's why. You're not wrong because of how you feel. Okay. What's going on, Yvonne Rouse? We're glad to see you. You are, as a twin sister who loves your sister and you think y'all besties, you're not wrong for feeling the way you do about her not sharing the information with you. You're entitled to feel the way you want to feel. Here's why you're wrong, though. Because she don't owe you the information. Okay? Cassandra said the twin mad about the new man. Probably so. But see, we have to understand there is no inherent right to information about somebody else and what they do in their life. She doesn't have to tell you that she's going on a cruise. She can, but she's not required to. Okay? And so because she's not required and you're in your feelings, you can be in your feelings, but you shouldn't be writing the show. You shouldn't be writing the show and putting it out there. You know, Chanel says none of her business. She says she's a hater. And it sounds like, and Sheila, I'm saying this to you with all levels of sincerity and genuine kindness, that many of the ladies who are responding right now believe that the issue isn't the cruise. The issue is that she went with a dude that you don't care for. But once again, public, this is not just to Sheila, okay? April said, yes, very wrong and immature. Let's see what Big Rod said. Big Rod said, well, as a father of twins, their relationship is far more closer than a normal sister relationship. That's why she has an issue with it. Big Rod, probably so, but she brought the dude up. So you gotta, listen, as a counselor for so many years, I can tell you, people say things in the course of expressing their anger or happiness or displeasure or joy that is attached to the real issues. And in this case, she brought that dude into it because he has something to do with it. She brought the fact up that she didn't really care for the dude too much anyway. And so, but I want to touch on a deeper issue than just these twins. All right. Chanel said even twins are entitled to their own space. Absolutely. But let's go deeper. What makes any of us believe that we are entitled to information about somebody else if they don't want to share it? I'll give you a prime example. If Chanel has something going on in her life and she doesn't want to tell me about it, she's not under any obligation to give me any information about anything she does because it's her business. If I was to call my mama and sometime my mama be gone somewhere and I call her, she don't answer, and I'd be like, Mama, where was you at? She's not under any obligation to tell me where she went. Now, generally she would because we got that kind of relationship. But if she didn't, she doesn't owe me the information because it's her business. Sometimes we overstate what our importance is in everybody's life because we believe that they're supposed to do something because we are who we are. Ever said her issue is that she realized she can't control her sister and who she dates sounds like a control freak. Well, that could be it. But to be honest with you, we don't know that that's just it. There could be some other undertones to this. If your sister elected not to call you and tell you, she probably notices something as well. Rod says she probably has warned her sister that he's not right for her. However, why are you a public forum talking you and your sister's business? I guess that's what Big Rod was about to say. Exactly, Big Rob. Once you done reached out to Uncle Sin and you want an answer, but you knew it was going to go public. And I'm assuming that Sheila and her sister both probably listened to the show. So now, Sheila, if that's your real name, you probably done started some more drama. I only want you all to understand. Stop believing that your level of entitlement to information is something that is not. If someone wants to give it to you because they value your input on that subject matter, great. They should be able to. Okay? What is Nikki Carter saying? It's none of her business, like someone said. Ty said, twins or not, she's not entitled to every bit of personal space and dealings that her sister has. Absolutely. I agree with you all. I just want, Sheila, I want you to understand that we're not coming down on you because of the way you feel. I personally believe you're entitled to feel that way. I just do not believe that you're entitled to express that level of anger. Hold on, let me see what Annie Moore talking about. She said, I love my sisters and we don't tell each other everything. My business is mine and theirs is theirs. Oh, okay. Y'all probably do gossip a little bit, but anyway. So again, let's be fair to Sheila. Sheila, your pain, your hurt, your frustration is valid, and you're not wrong for having it. You're just wrong for expressing it the way that you are and believing to the point that your sister is supposed to do it. That shows that there is some level of manipulation in that relationship, because the moment that you're unable to control it is when you reached out to the show, when you went all the way left, when you done got mad because you haven't talked to her. And Sheila, maybe this is your sister's way of showing you you need to back up a little bit. Okay? I believe your sister still loves you. I believe she's still your ride or die, or however y'all want to say it. I just think she wanted to show you that sometimes you might be going just a tad bit too far. And so why don't you just handle it like this? Nikki said she upset her sister went or didn't tell her she was going. The bottom line is she's not responsible to tell you that. And if she didn't, maybe you have voiced so much displeasure with the dude that she's with that it's such a sore subject that she says, rather than this becoming an issue between somebody that I care about, which is her sister, and somebody that she's into, which is her man, she elected to go do this and not say anything about it. So Sheila, sit down, have a conversation with your sister about anything other than that cruise, and get back to being at the same level that y'all was before you found out she went on the cruise. That's the best advice I could give you. Wish you nothing but love. All right, let's get back in the game and see what else is out here for us to talk about tonight. All right. Dear Sinclair, how should we feel about police officers in Tempe, Arizona, who are under heavy scrutiny after literally allowing a man to drown in a local lake in an act of self-harm? Oh, we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the fact that they did this in front of the man's grief-stricken wife while she begged for their help. Woo! All right, then. That's a little bit different. All right. Let me say this. I actually went back and watched that video. And you all often hear me talk in support of law enforcement because I know that there is an enormous amount of good law enforcement officers out there, Black, white, Latino, Asian. They run the whole gamut. I watched some officers whom saw this man. Now, as a disclaimer, not that you can give too much, nigga said the department's response was just as bad. Absolutely. what I saw, and the disclaimer is, this dude was sitting down talking to the police. Somehow they I don't even think they was even intending to arrest him or anything. He goes down a little embankment, jumps in the water, and decides he's going to try to swim across the lake. And it was a wide lake. It wasn't no little play lake. And at some point he swam. Now, here's the thing. It's miscategorized as a person who could not swim. This dude could swim. He just couldn't swim in that current. The way that the current was, it was too strong for him to get back. So he began letting the officers know he's not going to make it back. And the officers are saying stuff like, well, I'm not getting ready to get in that water with you. You need to come over to the pylon. His wife is begging them literally to go and save him. But these officers are not finna get their uniforms wet playing with this dude. And so I say that to say this to law enforcement. We all know that you all do a lot every day to save the public, to balance situations, to defend and protect. But when you sitting with your own body cam going, you got your own body cam going, recording you saying, nope, I ain't coming out there. You're going to have to come over here. If you don't come over here, we ain't helping you get up out of there. It's a bad look all the way around. Now, I'm pretty sure that, and here's my issue. My issue is not that the officers didn't get in the water. Okay? Yeah, Johnny, they weren't trying to get them blue uniforms wet. My issue is not that the officers didn't get in the water. My issue is that the officer who was doing the talking with his little body cam showing, he didn't even, I never heard him call for somebody to bring a boat to get him. I don't fault the officers for not getting in the water for 3 reasons. One, this dude could clearly swim and he couldn't deal with that current. Okay. Rod said, I heard about this, but I can't speak on it outside of this. It's the officer's responsibility to render aid to the best of your ability. Big Rod, you're right. But to the best of your ability doesn't mean that you put your own self in danger. The currents were so strong, the officer was not going to be able to swim and get him and get back. I don't care who he was. He could have been Greg Louganis. He wasn't getting back. The issue is he's never heard calling for the appropriate support that would have been able to bring a boat, who would have had the life rafts. None of that was done. So I don't want you all to confuse this and be off track talking about he didn't jump in the water. So what? I wouldn't have jumped in the water neither. If I see the current is too strong for you to make it back, I'm not jumping in there because I ain't going to make it back either. Now we're going to have 2 dead people. Nope, not happening. But you were required, and he said the undertow was strong. You're absolutely right. He wasn't required, in my opinion, to jump in that water. Okay. Nicky Carter said they pride themselves on putting themselves in danger. That's their favorite talking point. Come on now. Rod said, that's why I said to the best of his ability, he could have called for support. Absolutely, Big Rod. And I rock with you on that. Because that's the point. He didn't do what he could to save the man because he wasn't even, let's be clear. The white guy wasn't even panicking. And it made it look worse because it was a minority that he was dealing with. And for some reason, the level of insensitivity, when here we go another week in a row where we see something about white officers when they are in the midst of a critical situation where the people on the other side needing help happen to be minority, they're less than actionable. We just saw it with the school shooting. Now we sitting around here and we watching this white guy sitting with his hands folded at the top of the bridge. That's the reason why it's problematic, people. So if you're going to talk about it, don't talk about the fact because white America's going to say the same thing that I just said. I wouldn't have jumped in the water either. But white America, what he should have did, he didn't do, which was he didn't do anything that was relevant to throwing anything to assist a dude that he could have held on to calling anybody. And that's not saying nobody else made a call. I can't say that. But for the one that had the the body camera, he did not do that. Now, when people said, hey, his wife was begging for them to go out there, listen, let me be honest with you. She ain't jumping that water neither. So let's be clear. She was up there panicking. She didn't jump in the water either. Let's stop treating police officers in certain situations. And I'm not talking about the school shooting because they should have went in there. It was too many of them. They had enough firepower. That was a situation where they could have done something different. In this one, in terms of jumping in the water only, not the response that he didn't do from land, in terms of jumping in the water, I wouldn't have jumped in there. His wife didn't jump in there. The police didn't jump in there. And that fool shouldn't have jumped in there. That's the truth. But law enforcement, if y'all are listening tonight, and I know many of you will call me tomorrow because y'all do it every time I talk about law enforcement, understand what I'm saying. It's a bad look for you all that we don't have. And I'm going to say this because I know Johnny probably going to be texting me talking about, man, please don't go at the deep end of the pool with this. I'm not implying that you should let anybody drown or that you should let anybody get shot. But I'm going to say this, and Nikki probably just hit it on the head. Here's the issue that I have. There are no videos with you allowing white men to drown. There's no videos with you allowing white people, white kids to get shot. And you shouldn't. But there's too many videos where you're allowing minorities to go to their demise. That's all we saying. If this is what you do, no problem. But it should be across the board. I done seen y'all climbing up trees on behalf of crazy white dudes. I done seen y'all fighting off lines. I done seen y'all doing all kind of stuff on behalf of somebody that looks like you. We just want you to put that same energy when somebody looks like us. That's all we asking. Let me see if I got time for one more thing tonight. You know what? I want to talk about this, so y'all might have to stay with me for a few minutes. All right. A 10-year-old girl was arrested Tuesday after authorities say she fatally shot a woman who was arguing with her mother. Okay. According to the Orlando Police Department, witnesses told police the shooting occurred on the night of May 30th when the child's mother and the victim, LaShawn Denise Rogers, who was 41, began arguing outside of an apartment complex and saw the child holding this person said the child was holding a black firearm before firing 1 to 2 shots at Rogers. An arrest report shows the child then allegedly yelled, "She shouldn't have hit my mama," the boyfriend told police. Wow. And it said, OMG. Johnny said, I saw that and it made me mad. All right, let me say this. And I want to be mindful of the sensitivity of the fact that we now have a 10-year-old young girl who is being detained, and the fact that this young lady is going to have to live with that she took the life of somebody. That's the beginning piece. But now let me tell y'all this. Y'all know how we got here. We got here because y'all walking around. Not everybody. Let me say that because I know I'll get the haters and naysayers. We got to this point because there's too many women walking around with their kids in their business, Walking around with your kids talking about this my mini me. Walking around with your kids thinking they grown because you got them in everything that you into. This 10-year-old girl had the forethought to get a pistol from somewhere and pull a trigger and then yell out, "You shouldn't have hit my mama." When it says, if you go back and read it, it says that the mother of the 10-year-old was the first one who threw the first punch. Ty said, if she 10, I don't agree. I don't even know if she can fully comprehend. No, Ty, no. That 10-year-old knew what she was doing. Why is you sitting up talking about you don't know if she can fully comprehend it? That 10-year-old didn't pull that trigger and stand there looking crazy. The 10-year-old pulled the trigger and said why she did it. Because you shouldn't have hit my mama. Think about this. And I am mad and frustrated because it is prevalent in the black community. Y'all so busy turning your babies into your sidekick. You Bonnie and Clyde with your kids. They know all the foolery that you do. They can go through. They know who you're messing with, who you ain't messing with. They know who you're mad at, who you ain't. You sit up and talk to them about everything going on in your head, and you got a 10-year-old that you outside bucking up outside of the apartment, and she see you get somebody getting the best of you, so she get a pistol and fire it off, and then says, "I did it because you shouldn't have hit my mama." Annie Moore said, "That's exactly right, Sinclair." Ty said, "I'm not saying that. I'm saying that her age, she can't begin to understand." What are you talking about? Why do we go to the point where we say the young folk can't understand nothing? How she can't understand it? She been indoctrinated to grown folk stuff for years. That little girl ain't just start hanging out with her mama. Her mama outside fighting with her right there. The little girl knew what a gun was. I'm tired of this foolishness. Year after year after year after year, y'all done switched the game from parenting to I got my own little robot. I got somebody. You're incapable of having a relationship with a man because you so big, you don't need him because you got your own little cheerleading squad. This lady got her daughter outside while she's fighting somebody, and her daughter gets the pistol and pops a cap in her and says the reason why she did it, and he says she should have never known where the gun was. Rod said, why the little girl involved in grown people business calls her mother allowed it. Furthermore, why wasn't the boyfriend breaking it up? The boyfriend, according to it, Big Rod, was trying to break it up. He said he tried to break it up, and in the course of it, they got back into the skirmish. Yvonne said, I agree with you, Sinclair. She should have called 911. Absolutely. Cassandra said her and her mini me going to prison. Say it again, Cassandra. And I want y'all to stop making up excuses every time this happens. We know why it happens. Half of y'all talk about it every day because you see it in your own families. When you're more concerned about do you got a cheerleader and you will turn your kids into your little computer where they can process everything. When you going through something, you giving it to them. You let them form an opinion. You let them talk reckless to you. You let them do anything they want to do. This 10-year-old girl been doing that. This was just the time when it went too far. That's what happened. Ty said, maybe I'm the one who can't fathom this because I can't imagine my children at age 10 doing something like this. That's what it is. Avery said, where are they on order for her to get the gun? Absolutely. That part I did not read. I'll do some more due diligence, but the gun was probably in a mama's purse. It was somewhere close by that the girl knew where it was and had access. So you know what that tells me? That young girl had that gun in her hand or seen her mama messing with that gun before because she went and got it during the fight and popped the cap in her. That's the problem. I don't blame the 10-year-old. The 10-year-old did what she was indoctrinated to do. But as Negro people, we need to stop making up excuses that we done got sidetracked from parenting because it ain't no separation. Y'all running around here relationship deficient because you done gave birth to somebody that took the place of anything that you needed because that's all you care about. And now you got a 10-year-old, at least at minimum, she gonna be locked up until she turned 18, and mama ought to be in jail for longer than that. And y'all know how they do us in our community. They like to treat ours like adults. We better hope this turn out that way, that they treat her like a child. Because you know what juries do. April says she's been desensitized by her environment and what she's allowed to do and see. Yeah, mom and daughter catching a charge. Absolutely. And he said, yes, it's all in how you raise your kids. I agree. Cassandra said, yep, they both going to jail. And I'm getting ready to get off the show, and I appreciate y'all staying over with me, but I want y'all to understand, we the problem. In our own community, we the problem. And we've been giving this foolishness a pass. Listen, I can remember when I grew up, and my mama's on the call. She's up here. So if I'm lying, she'll let you know I'm lying. I grew up in a time frame where my mama, single mother, raising 3 kids, they had little card parties and did things like everybody else did. But you want me to tell you what my mama said? And my grandmother didn't play neither. Margaret Key, God rest her soul. When anybody came over, you know what you did as a child? You wasn't nowhere around grown folks. Matter of fact, I don't care what they was doing. They'll stop and ask you, what are you doing in here? If they holding a conversation, you know what they'll say? Don't you see grown folk talking? You couldn't even be around grown folks when nothing grown was going on. So if you heard something or saw something, you had to be ear hustling from a distance, because grown folks didn't play that. It wasn't that they didn't do anything. They just wasn't inviting their kids to be a part of it. They was parenting back then. But grown folks back then didn't use their kids as a crutch to keep from having to look within themselves and grow up and be about their business. So when we see our young people incarcerated, stop acting like you didn't know why they get locked up. Because you act like you don't know they out there in them streets doing what they doing, or you act ignorant to the fact that you were the ringleader in their knowledge point on that. You got a whole lot of kids in the cemetery because of their mamas and daddies. You got a whole lot of people in prison because of their mamas. You got a whole lot of women right now who are raising kids who are relationship deficient because they relationship deficient. Y'all mad at Monique because she's standing up with her man calling him daddy, because half of y'all a man can't tell you nothing. And you wonder why you be by yourself, because you out here, you ain't got no time and no energy to invest into a relationship with a man. Your relationship investment is your kids being your cheerleaders. And now you got a 10-year-old girl paying for it. We're going to pray for the 10-year-old girl, but she going to have to wear that. And I can promise you this, unless they get her away from the mama, and unless they put her in an environment and get her some retraining in a positive environment, this young girl, even when she get out, going to do something else. Because once you take somebody's life and you have the aggression that this young girl said, you shouldn't have hit my mama, I think it's okay for me to shoot somebody that my mama started a fight with. Don't believe that if she do 5 years, 10 years, 8 years in a juvenile, that she gonna walk up out of there more refreshed. People do not get better when they get locked up. They learn how to be better criminals. I got to go, people.
It's about that time, baby, baby. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
The Sinclair Show is on.
It is on.
Run it with your friends. Come on.
Come on.
It's a moment of the show tonight. Mailbag is time. Sinclair is on.